Hi everybody, hope you're well. So this week I'm going to talk about consistency, and I'm prompted to do so because this week I've had one of the worst weeks ever in terms of attendance to my groups, and it's because we had a little bit of rain. So yeah, I don't really have much sympathy, to be honest, but no, seriously, on a serious note, consistency. I'm going to look at it from two perspectives. First of all, when motivation is lacking, i.e. obviously with the people who come to my groups, but also from a different perspective, when motivation isn't an issue and it's actually more injury which is stopping you from being consistent. So first of all, just to address the lacking in motivation side of things. Again, I always talk about this guy, Dr. Steve Peters. You must read his book, it's really good. He says it's not about motivation when it comes to achieving your goals and sticking to a program. Even working with top athletes, like a lot of the time they don't feel motivated to train, they're tired and they're fed up, So he says forget motivation, have commitment as your goal. And the way he explains it is he has this chimp model, and he says that our chimp, which is kind of like our lesser self that will always want to take the easy route, and that's the one that's kind of planting doubts in your head and telling you, oh, it's raining, or oh, I'm tired, He says chimps, they respond very well to rules. They don't respond too well to sort of reasoning and things like that very often. But rules, if you have something that can't be negotiated with, then you're much more likely to stick to a program. And so it's about just being a bit sort of pig-headed almost when you have those rules, and I was fairly good at that myself when I was an athlete. I had a training program, and I might adapt it, which I'm going to come to in a second, but there wasn't an option not to do anything. Okay, it was part of my commitment, even if I didn't feel like doing it. And so because, as I say, there were times when I was injured, so I perhaps couldn't quite follow the training program that I had, but I always had the mantra that there's always something that you can do. And I just had an example recently with one of my own athletes, a lovely lady, and she'd signed up to a 10k, got a bad knee, and instead of not training, I taught her how to aqua jog, which I've put a link to on another post earlier on, if you just scroll down. Anyway, so I taught her to aqua jog, and she kept on with her training program. On the certain days when we'd plan something in, she'd just do what she could do. And she ended up doing the 10k because her knee got better because she rested it and then did all the other rehab and things. And she had a really good time. She raised £500 for charity and So as you can see, it is possible to sorry, I keep saying today. I don't know why. Anyway, it is possible to be consistent even when you're injured. The only time I would say where you can really kind of revise that rule is if you are ill. Sometimes you just need to lie on the sofa. But I think you'll get a sense of when that is the case. And a little quote for you to finish off on this section is, if you want the rainbow, you gotta put up with the rain. That's quite fitting. Okay, on to the next section about motivation. When motivation isn't a problem and it's more injury stopping you from being consistent. So I had an agent once who just really hammered home to me the importance of training consistently because I often was injured. And he said each day that you train without injury is like you're putting down a page of the yellow pages, like the old phone books. And if you imagine you've only got a few pages, it's very easy to tear, very easy to injure. If you've got a lot stacked up, then you can't tear it. So how do you go about getting this consistency? Well, obviously you can do all the stretching and rehab and physio massage, that kind of thing. That's all going to help. But another thing that a therapist once told me, and she did actually run in the Olympics. She was a 400-meter hurdler and she ran in the Olympics. And she said, she was Irish. She's like, I'm not going to put an Irish accent, but she said, only ever trained to 80%. And at the time I thought she was mad because I was like, but I want to run in the Olympics, I want to be really, really good. I'm not going to get that through training 80%. But yeah, I can kind of see there is a bit of wisdom in there now. And maybe not 80%. I think sometimes you can go a bit harder than that. But the key thing is just, and what I tell all my athletes now, okay, is you've got to maintain composure when you're running. You can work hard, but as soon as you start to like tense up, and especially in your face and things, then the rest of your body will get out of sync and you'll start to jeopardize your technique and things. So yeah, it's more about composure. Also, another piece of advice I once heard was, when you finish a session, you should feel like you could do at least another rep or another few reps. You know, so you're just keeping something in the tank. I think Seb Coe also once said that you don't always want to go to the bottom of the well. So yeah, just it is a bit counterintuitive because, you know, we do sort of think, oh, but to be successful you've got to always try harder, but it's not necessarily the case. It's about that element of control as well. So whereas some people's chimps are very lazy and they're not motivated, other people's chimps are like ultra competitive and they're like got a bit of an ego or a complex or something, and they think that they're superhuman. But you got to control it from both ends of the spectrum. So yeah, consistency is key. Good, so I hope you find it useful, and I'll see you next week. Okay, have a good one and happy running. Bye bye.